Alright everyone, this is Kev the Retro Game Crusader, and this is another pick up like a metalhead. And today on this light gun I have Bill. This is the original Namco light gun for the PS1. I used to own one of these back in '96 for one of my favourite games of all time, Time Crisis, which I picked up again yesterday. I haven't played this game in about 12 years. I preferred the second one, Titan, if anyone's played that, but playing as Richard Miller always made me laugh because my brother-in-law always used to call him Dickie Miller on the roof in like a cutscene. But it's always great controls for this game. Reload, and then you hide under a box, all that stuff. Great game. I've never played Point Blank before, but it's part of the light gun series for the PS1. So I might try collect all of them, including some of the rare ones that I've seen the Happy Video Game Nerd do. This game's proper wacky. Everything's made out of cardboard and has silly arcade feel, even though both of them are arcade games. This game I used to play years and years ago, but I never owned it. Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. It came out on the PlayStation 1. Really good for when it came out, and still holds up today. A bit squarey, but awesome. And this was the second ever PlayStation game I ever owned. I unlocked all the characters multiple times because I never owned a memory card for around about 2 years. But I knew everyone's moves off by heart. It was awesome. It's Tekken 2, I got it for £1. The disc spotless. This third one's epic as well. And then these 3 games we got for £6 down the charity shops. Batman Vengeance for the PS2, never played it, but I heard it's quite rare on the Cube. But why not get it for the PS2 because it was cheap anyway at the minute. Crash Tag Team. Sean played this since we got it and she likes it, but I think it's slightly different from the original team racing. So yeah, so emphasis on the tag team for when you see this game. But it looks nice in the graphics and you can move around before the tracks and that. Sly Raccoon Free, I've never played this one. I played the first ever one when it came out on, I think, pirated disc. But I never owned it, but it seemed pretty cool back then, and they're not very easy to come by, these games, but I got it for £2. The next 2 games I picked up about 4 days ago when we just went out shopping. Went in a couple of charity shops, got Poke Park, Pokemon title for the Wii. Never played this one, but I've played Pokemon Channel. That might be a lot like this. I like that game, but I had bought that one years and years ago just so I could get Jirachi on, what was it, the Game Boy Advance games. And then Pokemon Battle Revolution. I've played this game before, and it's really just a Pokemon Stadium clone, but it's not as good. But you can upload all your level 100 Pokemon and battle. Even if you've got the game hacked and you got like a black shiny Charizard, you give your Pikachu Surf and Fly. If the Pikachu's got Surf and Fly, it has balloons when it flies and has a surfboard and an actual wave when you do that. But it's proper funny and you can play it online, but the loading screens are terrible. But I plan on collecting every single Pokemon game ever released, so that should be fun. The next game I got yesterday for £5. Super Paper Mario. I've completed this game before, but I never really owned it. It's not my favourite in the series yet, but I've only played this one and Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door is one of my favourite games of all time. That game took us like a full week to beat. This took us I think just under a week. But I like the story of this one, but 1,000 Year Door seemed more dark and twisted. Yesterday I picked up SNK vs Capcom. I like some of the Neo Geo series type of games. Plus I'm a big fan of Street Fighter. And probably the dark horse of getting stuff cheap. Fable 2 Collector's Edition went in the local game store that normally sells this about £6. Went to pay for it and he's like, oh, there's a discount. And I was like, okay, and he's like £2 or £3, and I was like, yeah. So got the best collector's edition ever for that. I've owned this game once before, but it was just a normal one. But that's pretty much it. Kind of loads of games. Bill's about to go on the move, if you want to see him. Bye. There we go.